I became a millionaire at the tender age of 31, and in this video I'm going to share with you the 7 lessons that I learned becoming a millionaire at 31. So anybody in their 30s can take this advice and run with it and make your financial future a lot more secure. Before I begin, I think it's important to note that becoming a millionaire is probably not enough these days. I certainly don't feel like I have enough to retire on and live the life that I want to live. And I think you can only really be financially free when the return from your investments covers your lifestyle. And full transparency, I am not there yet. I think it's important to understand that, striving to become a millionaire, it's a great stepping stone, but it is not the final destination, especially with inflation. A million is just kind of not really enough these days. So my first lesson is about the who, not the how. So what I mean by this is it is not about how you make your money. It is about the person that is making it. You see, if you look at every single industry, every business industry that is out there, you will find thousands and thousands of millionaires that became millionaires through that particular industry. And on the other side of the coin, you will find thousands and thousands of people that were in the exact same industry that completely failed. And therefore, it is not the industry, it is not the how, it is the person that was operating that business. It is the who. So instead of trying to find and spend your time researching the perfect how, the perfect business model, you want to become the person that is capable of achieving the success and the results that you desire. So stop looking for these models, stop looking for the vehicle, and start looking at yourself thinking, how can I become the person that is going to achieve success regardless of the industry that I go into? Now, lesson number 2, if you want to become a millionaire, is to resist money urges. And I speak all of this from my own experience. When you start to earn a bit more money, especially if you haven't come from lots of money like I didn't, you have this great desire, well, I did at least, to spend it. And it can be really damaging to the long-term building of wealth. When I started to make my first $100,000 a month online, I started to spend a lot of money. I look back and I realized that over 1 year, in about 8 months, I spent about £140,000 on first class flights. And when everybody else around me is kind of earning £30,000, £40,000 a year, there's me spending, and that's pre-tax, there's me spending, 3-4 times that amount just on flights. And that's not talking about the amount of money that I spent when I arrived at the destination. I was spending money, I've got way more watches than I ever need. You can only ever wear one watch at a time. And I was spending money a lot quicker than I should have done. And luckily I was able to catch myself, but it's very easy to fall into that trap, especially when you live out here in Dubai and there's lots of cool, exciting ways that, tempt you to parting with your cash. It's important that you build a plan of action around actually saving money and saving a percentage of your income each and every month to be able to kind of stack that wealth as time goes by. Now, lesson number 3 is something that personally took me far, far too long to understand. And I think if I understood this concept, this lesson, I could have become a millionaire at the age of 21, not 31. And I'm kind of a little bit embarrassed to admit that up until maybe my late 20s did I ever really truly understand this. And it is that nobody is coming to save you. I always had this thought that I really wanted to be wealthy. I really wanted to live a extraordinary life, and somehow it would all just happen. And I didn't really think that the somehow it would all happen actually involved me having to put in a large amount of effort and time and hard work. I thought that it would just somehow all work itself out. And to some degree it did. But the only reason it did is because I came in and took massive action and drove the direction of my own life. And for so long, I just kind of thought one day it will happen, somehow it will happen, without realizing that, holy shit, nothing's going to happen unless I actually do something. As kind of crazy as that might seem, and it's kind of embarrassing to admit because, who else is going to come and save you? But I think deep down we all have this thought that something's going to happen for us, and it never really does. We have to make that decision. We have to make that thing happen and not rely on any external sources. Now, lesson number 4 is all around focus. You see, you can achieve what takes some people 10 years to achieve. You can do that in just 1 year if you can harness the power of focus. And in today's society, today's world, focus is the number one skill or trait that is lacking. Everybody wants to, get rich quick. Nobody ever wants to do the hard things that take a long time to get rich. And one thing I've learned is that if something comes quickly, it goes quickly. Easy come, easy go. And I'll give you a real life example of this. I've got two friends, both run their own business and both operate above 100,000 per month. So they're successful business owners in their own right. One of them runs paid ads and he gets all of his clients through paid ads, spending money on Facebook and Instagram. And my other friend gets all of his clients through organic marketing. Now, friend A, who runs paid ads, got his business to 100K per month very, very quickly because he's just literally spending money on paid ads. My second friend got there very slowly. But which one would you rather be now? Would you rather be the guy that got there quickly and that if anything goes wrong to his paid ads, the business disappears? This guy has like a huge audience, so he will never go hungry again. He has this asset in his business, in his life, that allows him to continue to earn money. And it's very appealing, it's very attractive to try and do the things that get us the immediate results as quickly as possible. But no matter how quickly they come, they can go just as quick. If they generally take longer to arrive, they're going to stay with you for much longer as well. So you have to be able to focus for long periods of time if you want any meaningful, sustainable growth in your business or in your life. And if you want to build wealth, it does take a long time. Yes, there are these outliers that can grow really quickly. They become millionaires overnight because of their business, but for 99% of people, and me included, it's not really reality. It takes a long time and it takes a lot of hard work. And the only way you're going to be able to go through that process and come out the other side with the goals and the achievements that you're looking for is by focus. Most people cannot focus. They cannot stick to one thing for a long period of time. I'm talking years and years and years in order to get the things that you want. And would you rather not focus for the next 3 years of your life and then live the rest of your life in mediocrity? Or would you rather focus, put intentional, deliberate practice and focus on a certain area so that you can spend the rest of your life living it the way that you want? I know which option I would rather, and so it's really, really important that you actually learn how to focus and focus on something for a long period of time. Now, lesson number 5 is that money is actually really important. Now, you hear all the time that money isn't important, money isn't everything. And of course, money isn't everything, but it is very, very important. And the older I get, the more I understand the importance of money. And the more money I have, the more I realize that I actually don't have basically any money. And I'm living life on a knife's edge. And I'll give you an example of what I mean here. Is recently a member of my family fell ill, and I was in a fortunate enough position to be able to leave Dubai that very day, catch a flight, get myself to the hospital. And it's not always possible for everybody. Life throws curveballs at you. Life throws situations at you that you can handle a lot better with money. And as you're growing up and you're growing older, generally your family gets bigger, they rely on you more. And if you want to be able to provide for your family, provide a level of security for your family, knowing that whatever happens, you've got them covered. Nobody has to do things that they don't want to do within reason. It's an expensive life. Life is expensive and money is important because it can give you the level of freedom that can make you happy. And again, telling you kind of something personal about myself, I don't like money for the sake of money anymore. I definitely used to, but now it's about being able to provide for people that I care about and that I love. It's about making sure that they don't have to do the things that they don't want to do, and they have a choice basically, and they're not forced to do something because of money. And when you get to that stage, you realize that money is very, very important. And all these people that say money isn't important, they generally don't have any, and they're generally kind of trying to come up with excuses as to why they don't have money. You do need money if you want to live a fulfilling life, and you want your loved ones to do the same. Now, lesson number 6 is all about making sure that you don't go it alone. Every stage in my entrepreneurial journey, I have sought out mentors of some description. When I first started, I couldn't afford a mentor, so I read books, and they were my mentors. I read books, I watched YouTube videos, and as I progressed, I started to invest in help, because there are people out there that can help you achieve the things that you're looking to achieve. And one of my biggest takeaways from working with a mentor is not the things that I learned, not the tactical things that I learned, but the way that I could see the world in a different way, the way that it changed my mindset. That's the biggest thing that you can do if you want to succeed. It goes back to my first point about it's not about the how, it's about the who. When you work with a mentor, and this is at least what happened for me, I can't remember how many years ago it was now, I'm not very good at going backwards in years, but I paid Sam Ovens, an online guy. I got on a call with him, and it was an extremely large amount of money for me at the time. It was I think it was $5,800, most amount of money I'd ever spent on one thing ever. It was $5,800 to join his coaching program. And when I joined, that program changed the way I view myself and the rest of the world around me. And the amount of return on investment I've got from investing in people is always way more than anything else. I've been fortunate to invest in Bitcoin very early on. I've been fortunate to invest in other cryptocurrencies very early on. None of that stuff, it all pales into insignificance compared to the amount of money that I've invested into myself through mentors, through programs, because there are people out there that have done the exact same thing you want to do, and they've become the exact same person that you need to become in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So do not try and go it alone. You might go, you go it alone, you'll get so far. You go with somebody else, you get their support, you get their guidance, you'll get there much quicker, and you get much further along the journey as well. Now, my seventh and final lesson is all about becoming uncomfortable and getting comfortable becoming uncomfortable. Because if you want to achieve things in your life that you don't currently have, you're not currently experiencing, whether that's more money, whatever it may be, you need to become a different version of yourself, a better version of yourself. And if you want to do that, it requires growth. And growth is uncomfortable. Growth is not easy. We don't like change. But if you want to start having different things in your life, you're going to experience a level of discomfort that you maybe don't enjoy, maybe you're not comfortable with. And that's okay, and it's expected, and it should be anticipated. And you need to get comfortable in those difficult situations. I speak to people that say, I want to start a new business, but I don't really want to speak to any customers, any clients. Is there any way that I can, are you really going to be able to build anything of value, add any meaningful value to your own life, to your family's life, to your customer's life, to your client's life, if you're trying to hide all the time? It's not comfortable for me to sit here in front of a camera. Was it comfortable the very first time I turned on a camera and shot my very first YouTube video? Absolutely not. Did I want to do it? Not really. But do I want to become the person that is capable of now sitting in front of a camera and working with more clients, reaching more lives, impacting more people? Absolutely. It was uncomfortable at the time, but it's just the kind of growth that you have to go through. So you have to embrace the thing that you're scared of, because the other side of that fear is where the growth happens. So whether it's picking up the phone and cold calling somebody, whether it is turning on the camera and making a video, whatever it is, you have to do it. Because if you don't do it, what's the alternative? What is the alternative of failure? You're going to basically just stay where you are for the rest of your days because you were too afraid to click a button on a camera and create a video like this. You were too afraid to pick up the phone and make a cold call. Whatever it is, you cannot let that one tiny thing make basically the rest of your life in a way that you don't want it to be. You cannot let just this one uncomfortable moment dictate the rest of your life, and not just your life, but your family's life, all of your loved ones, the people that you care about. You cannot provide for them because you can't break through that 3-second level of discomfort by making a cold call, for example. So understand what the alternative is. If you're too afraid to do something, fast forward your life. Look back when you're lying on your deathbed and think, I should have made that cold call. I should have turned on that camera. So do not be afraid of fear. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. So there we have it. They are my 7 lessons that I learned from becoming a millionaire at the age of 31. I hope they help. If you've enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.